King Wet is us we the people.
Social Security has been a part of American life for 85 years. It needs to be tweaked to ensure it continues to provide for our golden years. Today, we are going to discuss fixing Social Security. Social Security is one of the nation's most successful, effective, and essential programs. The Social Security Board of Trustees projects program costs to rise by 2035 so that taxes will be only enough to pay 75% of scheduled benefits. This increase in cost results from population aging, not because we are living longer, but because birth rates dropped from 3 to 2 children per woman. Importantly, the shortfall is basically stable after 2035. Adjustment to taxes or benefits that offset the effects of the lower birth rate may restore solvency for Social Security program on a sustainable basis for the foreseeable future. If trust fund assets are exhausted without reform, benefits will necessarily be cut. We all need to understand the history of Social Security if we're going to fix it. Our Social Security system was created by Congress in 1935. A need was created as America shifted from mostly a rural agricultural society to an urban industrial society. For most of our history as a rural agricultural society, we lived in extended families that include children, parents, grandparents, cousins, and other relatives. The advantage of the extended family was that when one family member became too old or infirm to work, the other family members assumed responsibility for their support. 4 important demographic changes happened in America beginning in the mid-1880s that rendered the traditional systems of economic security increasingly unworkable. The Industrial Revolution, the urbanization of America, the disappearance of the extended family, and a marked increase in life expectancy. When economic income is primarily from wages, one's economic security can be threatened by factors outside of one's control, such as recessions, layoffs, injury, disability, and old age. Americans moved from farms and small rural communities to large cities. That's where the industrial jobs were. In 1890, 28% of the population lived in cities. By 1930, this percentage had exactly doubled to 56%. To learn more, go to socialsecurity.gov/history. Thanks primarily to better healthcare and sanitation and the development of effective public health programs, Americans began to live significantly longer. In 3 short decades, from 1900 to 1930, average lifespans increased by 10 years. The net result of this complex set of demographic and social changes was that America was older, more urban, and more industrial, and fewer of its people lived on the land in extended families. The traditional strategies for the provisions of economic security were becoming increasingly fragile. What should be done with those too old to work? Welfare? President Roosevelt introduced social insurance. This would address the permanent problem of economic security for the elderly by creating a work-related contributory system in which workers would provide for their own future economic security through taxes paid while employed. Some of us are working. Some of us are in school. Some of us are enjoying our golden years. So that's the cycle of life. It's a biological imperative that during our working years, we are supporting the young and the old. The Social Security Act was passed by Congress in 1935. They funded the program via a payroll tax so that it would not be welfare. You pay into it during your working years, then received an earned benefit. But it is even more than a retirement benefit. Social Security is more than just a retirement. It also covers disability and survivors, such as your spouse and children, in the event of your death. Let's listen to what President Roosevelt had to say when he signed the law in 1935.
Today, a hope of many years' standing is in large part fulfilled. The civilization of the past 100 years, with its startling industrial changes, has tended more and more to make life insecure. Young people have come to wonder what would be their lot when they came to old age. The man with a job has wondered how long the job would last. This Social Security measure gives at least some protection to 30 million of our citizens who will reap direct benefits through unemployment compensation, through old age pensions, and through increased services for the protection of children and the prevention of ill health. We can never insure 100% of the population against 100% of the hazards and vicissitudes of life, but we have tried to frame a law which will give some measure of protection to the average citizen and to his family against the loss of a job and against poverty-stricken old age. It seems to me that if the Senate and the House of Representatives in this long and arduous session had done nothing more than pass this security bill, Social Security Act, the session would be regarded as historic for all time.
Are we going to do nothing at all? And just let Social Security die?
Social Security has been a success for 85 years. We need your support to make it a success for the next 85 years.
We can fix it if we act now, but many young people are disillusioned.
Social Security is broke, and we don't have any savings for our future.
We'll be broke and homeless.
They let Social Security die. They say Social Security won't be there for us. We don't have much in our 401ks, looks like we work until we die.
I pay FICA tax and we don't get anything. They can't fix Social Security because it's broke.
That's what some would want you to believe. But you're already receiving benefits from Social Security.
Oh yeah, what?
Well, for starters, you have disability coverage from Social Security. Your children and wife have a survivor benefit if you were gone. And right now, if both of your mothers were not receiving Social Security, they would be living here with you and you would be supporting them. The only way Social Security will not be there when you retire is if you let the politicians kill it. And here's the good news. It only needs to be tweaked.
What do you mean?
The Social Security Trust Fund can be fixed and good through the end of the century. That means for your mother and for you, and also for your children, for only a 1.2% increase in the payroll tax.
That's all it needs? 1.2%, and it is good for 80 years?
That's all. A 1.2% increase on workers and employers, but it could be even less if we remove the cap from the employer side of the FICA tax. It could be as low as 0.7%.
I see what you mean. It's only gone if we don't vote. Some politicians will lie to us and try to scare us.
So yes, we can fix it with just a 1.2% increase in the FICA tax. Don't be fooled by the idea of privatization. After all, Social Security has worked for 85 years. Don't forget to share this with your friends.